Yesterday, I was speaking at a conference on stress management techniques, and the kind of response I received really boosted my confidence. During the questionnaire session, most of the attendees asked me one common question, that is, how to manage stress in life effectively. Trust me, guys, I was expecting this question. In fact, this question is very broad and it can be further segregated into smaller questions. To name a few: how to manage stress at work, how to manage stress in college, how to deal with stress at school. There are many ways to deal with stress. Some methods are specific and some are generic. Even before you start working on the strategy to cope with the stress, you have to first figure out the source of the stress. Secondly, you have to figure out that the source of stress can cause short-term or long-term stress. Before we start talking in depth about the strategy to help you cope with stress effectively, let me tell you a few good things about stress. Remember, guys, stress is not always bad for the mind and body. A moderate or mild level of stress can literally do wonders for you. In most of the cases, it has been found that a mild level of short-term stress definitely helps you in improving your performance at schools, college, exams, job interviews, and so on. A moderate level of stress can help you to beat your competitor by increasing your focus, performance level, creativity, time management skills, and so on. We really don't even care about the benefits of stress. Almost every one of us takes stress negatively. But we should be open to taking stress in a positive sense. What happens when you are stressed? When you are stressed, your brain sends signals to your body to get prepared for sudden threats. The body releases cortisol and adrenaline hormones, which increases the sugar in your blood, increases heartbeats, increases blood pressure, and so on. Suddenly, your body becomes more attentive towards perceived threats. If the source of stress is short-term, then slowly and gradually, your body will resume its normal position. But the problem arises when the source of stress is prolonged or chronic. It becomes really difficult for the body to cope with chronic stress naturally. As a result, your body is exposed to psychological and physiological stress. If chronic stress is not handled on time, it can lead to anxiety and other heart and nerve-related problems. Never ignore symptoms related to stress. If diagnosed at the early stage, chronic stress is easily curable. I recommend all my readers to have separate strategies for dealing with a short-term and long-term strategy. When it comes to instant or short-term stress, stress buster or some meditation can help you to overcome it. For example, some stress relief tea in your daily routine can do wonders. For the short-term stress, you can also try some of these stress relief products. You can keep these products in your office and use it for the purpose of distressing. You can find a lot of cool product on Amazon, and trust me, guys, it really works. I have personally used quite a few of them. These products are cost-effective and value for money. When I am stressed, I love watching stress-relieving movies or playing stress-relieving games. Once you are addicted to these games, it really distresses you in a couple of minutes. At least for me, it's working great for the last couple of years. Examples of how to manage stress in life. If I have stressed day in the office, I will come back and have a shower with hot water, drink a cup of tea, and play the video game for at least half an hour. It not only helps me to gain positive energy but also prepares me for a stressful situation. Every individual is different. My friend, David, makes the best use of adult coloring books. Let me know your ways of distressing. How to manage stress in life effectively. Here, we will mostly concentrate on building a strategy to cope with long-term stress. Coping with short-term stress is easy. There are a few symptoms of short-term stress that you have to keep in mind. Don't confuse a stress headache with something serious. Back pain is also a common symptom of short-term stress, which really people confuse with symptoms of other diseases. Sometimes even a massage can help you to get rid of the problem. How to manage stress in life naturally. You can try these tips to manage short-term stress naturally. I will never encourage you to take any pills for stress or even anxiety. Though you may get instant relief, these pills aren't the solution. It's possible to get rid of stress but not a stressful situation. So, it's better to learn how to handle a stressful situation. I always push my readers and my clients to learn tips and tricks to handle the stressful situation effectively rather than going for some pills which can only give you temporary relief. The worst part is you will get addicted to these pills over a period of time. Try these natural stress management techniques for short-term stress. Exercise and yoga, meditation or devotional prayers, acupuncture, high-nutrient diet, cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, using adaptogen herbs. Try to be social. Keeping a journal. To manage prolonged stress is not at all an easy task. If any kind of stress is troubling you for a long time, then it's always better to consult a psychiatrist or a neurologist. How to manage chronic stress in life. I hope most of you know about chronic stress. Chronic stress can be defined as the stress of high intensity for a prolonged duration. We will discuss here some of the strategies to help you minimize the impact of chronic stress. Again, every individual is different and we can't say that everyone will be benefited the same by following these strategies. These are time-tested strategy and most of my clients have been benefited by it. Step 1. Take a piece of paper and jot down all the stressors. Step 2. Now, give priority to these stressors. Step 3. Try to segregate these stressors into a physiological stressor, psychological stressor, emotional stressor, and random stressor. Step 4. Now, add the numbers as per the priority you have given to these stressors. Step 5. Highlight the sum that is maximum for a particular segment of a stressor. For example, your total sum for psychological stressor is 100 and for physiological stressor is also 100, then it means the reason for the chronic stress is a combination of both. Step 6. So by following the method you can know the reason for your chronic stress. Step 7. Consult a psychiatrist or a neurologist and discuss your problem. There are some of the key stressors in everyone's life. For example, stress at the workplace, stress due to the relationship, stress due to financial instability, stress due to loss of the spouse, stress due to life-threatening disease, etc. If your reason for prolonged stress falls in these categories, then it's normal. A large section of the American population has a similar issue. But if the stressor is very unique and you can't get rid of the stressor, then the best option is to improve your stressful situation handling skill. You can learn the skills to deal better with a stressful situation. For example, if the stressor for your acute stress is your relation with your boss or suffering of your spouse because of a life-threatening disease like cancer. Trust me, in both the cases you can't do anything. You have to learn the skills that help you to cope with the situation in a better way. In short, you have to be mentally strong as you have to stay with these problems. In life, you will find lots of instances when you will not be able to change the situation. The best you can do in those situations is to learn the skill and strategy to deal better. How to efficiently manage stress in your life using these 6 tips. I believe in the proverb, prevention is better than cure. By inculcating a few things, you can reduce the intensity of chronic stress. Learn to say, no. This is the first thing I preach to my clients. Is it really difficult to say, no, to anyone at a personal or professional level? The answer is, yes. As a human being, it is our intention to keep everyone happy at both personal and professional level. In fact, at times we end up doing lots of things that we never want to do. Some of these things can become a source of a psychological stressor. How to manage stress at work. Rather than trying to keep your boss happy, it's more important to do your projects efficiently. When it comes to the personal front, saying no is good. How much you try hard but you can't keep your spouse happy all the times? In case you disagree with my views and thoughts, then please let me know by giving your feedback in the comment section. Time management. This is a common feature that is found in all the successful person on this planet. Tell me about any person who is successful and is bad at managing the time. Trust me, it can't be possible. You have only 24 hours and the person who will utilize it efficiently will definitely be a front runner. Even when it comes to office work, you are surrounded by a never-ending to-do list. Even you are aware of the fact that you can't complete all the tasks. So, what's the solution? How does time management reduce stress? Frankly speaking, I believe in prioritizing the task. It makes things smooth. I make a calendar for my everyday task and have a notebook where I jot down the highest priority task. Take control. Whether it's professional life or personal life, you can't deny that you have to face a numerous situation where finding a solution seems impossible at the surface. For example, there can be a problem in your IT project and finding a solution seems almost impossible. Even your colleagues and seniors are very much sure there isn't any solution. So, will you give up? Stress management technique list. I have faced a similar situation and I am sharing you exactly the process that I followed to get rid of the problem. I broke down the complex problem into smaller ones. Then I jotted down all the possible solution of these smaller problems. While writing down the possible solutions, I also kept in mind these 5 things. What will be done? When will it be done? How will it be done? Who is involved? When and where will it take place? So, one by one I started rejecting the possible solutions by writing the good and the bad points about the possible solution. Finally, I came to a point where I was left with few solutions. Trust me, it wasn't so difficult to select from these solutions. At last, I sum up the solutions for the smaller part to get the final solution for my project. You can give this method a try and let me know your response in the comment section. Talk to someone. Stress can create illusion and prevent you to see the things clearly. Most of the time, you will not have clarity in a stressful situation. It's a good approach to pick your phone and start talking to someone. How to manage stress in everyday life. By doing so, your mind will get diverted from the stressful situation. Sharing your problem with your well-wishers and asking their view can really give you many options to deal with the situation. Exercise. Stressful situation puts your body on fight or flight mode. As a result, stress hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline is produced in excess quantity to deal with any perceived threat. The consequences of it are increased the sugar level in the blood, increased blood pressure, increased heartbeat and so on. If these consequences are not restored, then the body can be exposed to numerous problems. In the case of acute or short-term stress, the hormone level comes to the normal and the body function is restored. But, in the case of chronic stress, these hormones keep on generating due to the prolonged nature of stress. The body doesn't have the capacity to deal with the chronic stress. So, what is the solution? How can exercise help you manage stress? By doing a certain type of exercise, meditation and yoga can help the body function to get restored and these hormones to get neutralized. Exercise or intense physical activity is one of the best ways to reduce the intensity of chronic stress. Avoid alcohol and narcotic drugs. You may feel as if all the stress is gone by consuming a good amount of alcohol. But, it's simply a way to either make yourself a fool or run away from the problem. Alcohol reduces the response time and definitely make you feel distressed until you are under the influence of alcohol. Same is true for narcotic drugs. If these drugs and alcohol would have really worked, then a large number of the American population wouldn't be suffering from anxiety, depression, and other stress-related problems. Correct me if I am wrong. How to deal with stress without alcohol? Let me know your view on this. The reality is in fact very disturbing. Alcoholism and intake of narcotic drugs increase the stress multiple folds. Don't you believe? A regular intake of these items can make you habituated and dependent on it. Adding to the problem is the demand of your body. Your body will demand more and more alcohol or narcotic drugs whenever you face a stressful situation. If you aren't able to fulfill the need of your own body, then you have to face the stress created by this situation. As a result, your condition will be pathetic. You will not be left with many options. So next time when you go for a drink, just to minimize the stress, just give a thought that it's not a solution but a beginning of a new problem which is much more severe as compared to the stressful situation for which you have come for a drink. Conclusion: I am sure that you will definitely follow the tips shared in this post on the topic of how to manage stress in life. If we missed some points, then let us know. At last, it all depends upon your willpower and your approach towards any stressful situation.